Okay, so this is a basketball drill where we can really focus on driving, kicking, and swinging, right? That's what we want to really focus on with this one is ball movement, right? Penetrating, getting to the key, but swinging the basketball, right? So this is a drill that really I think you can use with all age groups. Whether you're a younger team, you're teaching those fundamentals of wanting to kind of incorporate a motion offense or that type of ball movement, but also if you're an older team, a high school team that wants to enforce this type of thing as well. So let's kind of break it down a little bit. So we want to have a lineup right here of players with the basketball in their hand. And we're also going to have a pass right here that's going to be V cutting, and they're just going to be kind of like ripping below the knees to the basket. And then we're going to have our shooter here, right? So we have three different lines. So line one with the basketball, line two near this cone that we want to set up about right there, and then our shooter right here. So how this is going to work is we're going to have number one here with the basketball, right? And as that is happening, number five is making a bit of a V cut. They're actually going to start by the cones. They're going to pop out, extend to the 3-point line. And number one is going to hit them with a pass. So that first pass that we make, we want to really, we want this to be muscle memory, right? The whole point of these, kind of drive, kick, swing drills is, to not just run through the motions of a 5-out, right? We want to, run these drills so that, we can incorporate these movements and it just becomes muscle memory to the players, right? So number five right here is going to sweep below the legs, right? They're going to rip and go, right? And they're going to drive into the paint after they receive that ball from a cut. Because we don't want them to catch the ball standing still. We want them to cut. So after that, they're going to drive to the paint. And once they get to about right here, they're going to kick the ball out to number four. Now, number four right here is our shooter, right? So this is a great shooting drill, to be quite honest with you as well, because number four is going to receive that pass and they're going to step into a shot. So, it depends if you're a younger age group or an older age group. You can keep them, at the 3-point line. If you're an older group, if you're a younger group and you want to put a mid-range, about right here, that's fine too. But we're just going to, for the sake of the drill, have them at the 3-point line. So they are going to have a clear target on their hands. They're going to open their hands up for a target. They're going to receive that pass. They're going to step into the shot, right? So number five right here is kicking it out to number four. Number four then is going to step into the shot. So how do we move from here? So after number one passes to number five, number one is going to immediately go to the cones. And then he is taking that spot right there. And number five, after they make that first pass, they are going to follow their pass, right? Everybody's going to follow their pass and fill in that spot. So number four shoots the basketball, right? Number four is going to get the rebound, and number four gets the rebound, and they're coming back up here to the top of the floor, right? So number four is coming back up here with the basketball, and now the ball goes to the front of the line. And realistically, you probably have a few more, basketballs in this line, but now we're set up, we're ready to go again. Number one is coming off that V cut, right? We're probably going to have this line a little bit closer to the 3-point line, obviously. Okay, so we're going to hit number one with that pass, and we're going to fill the spot. Number one, is going to rip and go, get to the paint. They're going to penetrate the key, right? And number five is going to be ready for that shot. We're going to kick it out to them. Number five is going to shoot. We're going to follow our pass, but as that's happening, number five is shooting the basketball, getting the rebound, right, and coming back to the back of the line with the basketball. And now we're reset again. So it's a continuous movement, right? Number two, right, we're actually here. We're going to pop in and out, hit him with the pass. Number three fills. Number two drives to the paint, right, kicks it out to number one, follows the pass, number one shoots the ball. So it's a continuous movement, right? We want to teach the athletes that we're continuously moving, we're driving, we're kicking, we're swinging, right? And we want this, this movement to become muscle memory to them. So, this is a great alternative into just teaching a basic, kind of 5-out, over and over again, because this incorporates a shot, it incorporates actual real game scenarios, right? Now, basically with this particular drill, what we're going to teach the athletes is basically how to handle a double team, right? Once we get our paint touch, how to handle a double team, which will eventually result in them understanding the concepts of the motion offense. We're also going to teach the athletes that, when you pass the ball, there's a good chance in a motion offense that you will eventually get the ball back and you will be the one that receives the shot. We look at this drill right now, it's going to go back to the initial person with the basketball after the ball already moved around the floor. And lastly, we're going to teach the athletes how to swing the basketball, which is obviously a super important concept with the motion offense. You want the athletes to be able to swing the ball from side to side.
So three kind of key concepts to a motion offense that we were looking at here. Now, as you can see, we have 4 lines right here, a line right here, a line right here, a line right here, and a line right here. So instead of 3, like we did in our last drill, we're now incorporating a 4th person, which is one step closer to our 5 out. So basically, what we're going to do with this play, we're going to have athletes line up into 4 separate lines. It doesn't necessarily need to be 4 people in each line, especially if you have limited numbers. You could have 2 people in each line. You could have sometimes even 1 person in each line. It doesn't really matter too much how many people are in each line. You just want 4 separate spots on the floor, similar to how we have them right here. The balls are always going to start in this line right here, the line where we start the drill. So for us right now, this is our white line. So the first thing that we're going to do in this drill, we want the person with the basketball to get a paint touch. So we're going to have number 1 drive to the basket and get inside the paint. Now what we're going to mimic right now is if there were to be a double team maybe inside the paint, how do we then get our motion offense going? How do we get our read and react continuous offense going? So number 1 is going to be driving to the paint and getting that paint touch. And like I said, we want to mimic a double team right here. So what we're going to have number 1 do when they get that paint touch is they're going to kick the ball out to the green line over here. Okay, so when number 1 kicks the ball out to the green line, they're then going to fill a spot right here. So what we're mimicking right now is, okay, now what does number 1 do? They need to go fill another spot. So number 1 in the blue line is going to come up here and fill another spot. Now what we're going to have happen is number 1 swing the basketball to the purple line, right? Number 1 in the green line. They're going to swing the basketball to the purple line. They're going to swing the basketball right here to this new number 1. And they're going to swing the basketball back to number 1 in this line. And this number 1 is going to drive it to the basket, and they are going to get a wide open layup. So again, what we're teaching here is when you pass the ball to get a motion offense started, there's a good chance that you will get the ball back, right? This white number 1 started right here. Now they finished the drill with getting the wide open layup. We're also teaching the concept of swinging the ball, right? As we see, the ball went from side to side all the way back right here, and we had the wide open layup. So now we'll have the ball reset. So this blue person will go back to the blue line. They'll move to the back of the line. Number 1 will go back to their line. They'll move to the back of the line. Purple will go to the back of the line, and green will go to the back of the line. Now we have our number 2s ready to go. And they're going to do the same thing. Number 2 here is driving to the paint, right? They are going to mimic a double team. And what we're going to have is 2 kick the ball over to green. They're going to fill over here. And as that happens, blue is going to move up, and we get that ball swing all the way back over. Number 2 is going to drive it to the paint and get a wide open layup. Now, if you want to start incorporating more into this, if you have an advanced team and they're starting to understand these concepts a little bit, you can even add now another pass right here and maybe have number 2 shoot a wide open jump shot in the green line once we get another paint touch right here. So again, this is a pretty continuous drill. It's not a drill that's going to see a lot of crazy action, but what we want to basically reinforce here to the athletes is the concept of getting in the paint and swinging the basketball from side to side, swinging the ball, continuously, which is what we want in a continuous motion offense, right? Again, we want to teach them the concepts rather than a robotic play. Now, if we do these concepts over and over and over again, they're eventually going to understand them. Again, this is something that I would teach in a warm-up in the beginning of practice for a few weeks before I go into my 5-out motion offense. And then even when I have my 5-out motion offense, I would use this drill a little bit more at the beginning of practice to just reinforce those tactics that we're going over and how to play basketball the right way in a continuous setting.